I'm about to tell you a story about this car that I just bought, and you tell me that manifesting is not real when I am done. Also, this is going to go off in a very strange tangent, but just stay with me. So I just bought myself a 1966 Dodge Dart GT convertible. I drove this car when I was 16 years old. 25 years ago, my dad sold it. Never saw another GT Dodge Dart convertible in the wild ever again. I'm an author. My next book is called Say You'll Remember Me, and I wrote my car into this book, a 1966 electric blue Dodge Dart convertible. Never have I seen one ever since I sold mine 25 years ago. So a couple of weeks ago, I'm in Michigan. I'm there because my daughter was staying at summer camp and she ended up getting really, really sick at summer camp. So my husband and I decided that we were going to stay in Michigan for the duration of her camp stay so that we could continue to support her. She's chronically ill. She gets sick a lot. Because we're staying so long, we decided to bring our dogs to Michigan, and we've got an Airbnb all lined up. The day we check into our Airbnb, within 1 hour of checking in, the Airbnb has a sewage flood. We get kicked out of our Airbnb. We have nowhere to stay. It's the summer, it's 4th of July week. It's really, really hard to find places that will take dogs. So we end up driving to Manistee, Michigan, like an hour and a half away from where we were originally going to stay. And we end up finding a dog-friendly hotel there, and we camp out there. While we are staying in this hotel, in a state that we were not supposed to still be in a hotel and in a city that we were not supposed to be in, I see off in the distance, while I'm on a walk, a 1966 electric blue Dodge Dart convertible driving near our hotel. I end up chasing this lady down. It is the exact car that I drove when I was 16. It was unreal. I have just spent like half a year writing this very car into the book that comes out next year. Could not believe it. Here's a picture of the car. Here she is. This gets my mind working, okay? Geneva Rose, author Geneva Rose, was like, you know what you should do? You should totally buy yourself a Dodge Dart and then take it on book tour. And then I started thinking about it, and I was like, that's not really a bad idea. So my husband and I go on the hunt looking for a 1966 GT Dodge Dart convertible. There's not a lot of them. They only made about 10,000 V8 GT Dodge Dart convertibles in 1966, and that doesn't even account for how many of those were convertible. I'd say maybe 1/3. So there was maybe only 3,000 on the roads to begin with, and now this car is 58 years old. We find one. It's in Vacaville, California. My husband and I are like, should we get on a plane and go out there and test drive it? Like, we're really not comfortable just buying the car sight unseen, even with all the videos the guy was sending. And we were like, you know who's near Vacaville is author Julie Soto's dad, Steve. We've met Steve one time. And we were like, maybe Steve would be into going out and test driving this car for us. Steve is into it. So Steve goes out the next day to Vacaville to test drive the 1966 Dodge Dart convertible that I'm thinking of buying. I'm going to share that picture next. Steve goes down there to test drive this car, vanishes. Gone, radio silent for 2 whole hours. I told my husband he's either having the time of his life or something has happened. Steve finally calls us back, gives us the rundown on the car. He says, it's gorgeous. The body's clean. There's no rust. It starts up. It hums. It's beautiful. We took it on an hour-long test drive. It rides smooth. The power steering is great. And then the wheel fell off. What, Steve? The wheel fell off. I got to tell you, though, this totally tracks with my 1966 Dodge Dart experience. My husband was a little bit unsettled by it, and I was like, no, this is just what they do. Things fall off of them. Nobody got hurt. The car wasn't damaged. The wheel just sort of like popped down and like went out to the side. It was the wrong lug nuts. They fixed it. It took about an hour. Steve had to direct traffic to keep people from hitting the back of the car. Everything was fine. So back to manifesting. My husband is obviously a little shaken by the fact that the tire fell off the car. I mean, it's not great. You know what I'm saying? But I am not shaken. For me, this is a sign, because please tell me why I did not write this exact conversation into Say You'll Remember Me. How long are you driving this again, I asked. Until the wheels fall off, probably. Why am I worried that's actually going to happen? That's my car, you guys. That was the moment I decided that I was going to buy that car, because the wheel actually fell off. So I have her now. She is mine. She's at the mechanic right now. I'm going to make sure that this car is 100% road safe before I drive her around. But I am thrilled. I manifested her. I manifested this car, and you are going to see it on book tour. Also, I sent Julie Soto's dad, Steve, some gift cards to a wine shop to thank him for his contribution to my Dodge Dart purchase. And I also sent him this mug. I directed traffic for an hour when the wheel fell off AuthorAbbyJimenez's Dodge Dart, and all I got was this mug. I passed along the way.